we like to talk the talk and spread the word, because we have things that we've done and accomplished that we want to pass along. And if other people have areas in which they can bring in more information and help us, and we work with them, they work with us, then we spread the word and try to get a little bit of communications going between the different groups and find out. A lot of the military aren't here, so this is really good because I work with a lot of products that I get demos or I get some kind of pilot programs, and I test them out to see what works and if it can work and what kind of future technology I can make out of it. So I want to show you what we've been doing so far, and then afterwards, if y'all have anything, any areas that you can tell me that you're an expertise in, I'd love to pick your brain, and that's what I do. We are part of CASCOM G3 under TRADOC. I don't know if y'all know, but TRADOC's under CAC, which is, they're all government entities, so unless you have a government background, sometimes some of those acronyms are kind of hard to follow. We're part of the Technology Integration Branch. SCOE Mobile is one of the team products, or the name of our team. We have SCOE Sim and we have SCOE Arena, and I'll show you all the little details under each one of those. CASCOM came up with, just recently, our vision and our mission for the G3. And it's really awfully interesting that their mission and vision were ours since '09 for our department, because we were emerging technologies. They branded us that in '09, and everybody thought we were crazy for wanting to go mobile, but now here we are. And everything has been very, very smooth, and we really thought it'd be a rough ride. We thought it'd be a lot of closed doors, but everybody was happy to see somebody wanting to go down that road, and they embraced us as we were opening them, which made it very fun. So in the branch, our team consists of eight individuals. We're all GS, no government, green suitors as we call them, no contractors. We do everything in-house. We have very limited funding. What we do have, we create our own funding by building for other people. We have a simulation gaming side of us. We have an arena side of us now, which is our 3D renders, and I'll go into more detail on that. We have the SCOE Mobile team, and that is where we really started in '09. We had our first mobile team with the Army, and we started building apps. We built enough of them to get recognition, and from there, everybody knew our name, as Cheers would say. This is us in a really bad example of how to do PowerPoint. But these are the schoolhouses that we support through CASCOM. And with that support, we build and develop the products that are more enhanced training products from the Death by PowerPoint. So we use a lot of different products, and looks like a little bit's cut off on the end, but we've ventured down the road. We've added a lot of things. We have the Unity, we have Max, we have a couple other products that we haven't put on there yet that we're just now breaking into. We have some development in there. But what we're doing is we're supporting schoolhouses, we're building more enhanced training, and we're using multiple teams and platforms to do it. So the SCOE SIM team has to work with the VBS2, which is the Army's choice with gaming. And we make that a little more enhanced. We do a little bit of splicing and dicing, and we take some of the information that we build in the VBS2 and we blend it with an environment of maybe live video and mobile. So we can make everything on a platform where it makes it a little more robust than just the VBS2 in the classroom, which is a closed network. They're all just computers that are daisied together. It's not really anything that you can build on. And so what we take is we take the products out of here, and we can make 3D renders of some of the items, and then we splice and dice and make a very more enhanced, robust product. We make this look good, because VBS2 is really hard right out of the box. So we have on the SIM side, they have their lab. We have 2 labs now we've built. We have a mobile lab, well, it's a COTS gaming lab, and we have this simulation lab where they have the chair, and you can get the real feel and effects of like being on a Humvee, and huge shocks and noise, and when it blows up, you blow up, you feel it. Everybody wants to check out the chair. But they have created a couple of scenarios. The screens come alive, and they have it all around, all sides of them. This is actually just a demo picture. Our chair's a little more advanced than this. Okay, so we have probably now about 100 apps. We created we started out in 2009 saying, okay, not everybody has a smartphone, because back then you'd get into a room filled and you'd ask how many people have a smartphone, and half of them, if you're lucky, would raise their hand. So then you're getting an audience of deer in the headlights look. So we started developing on different platforms, because we noticed some of the soldiers had gaming systems. You know, they had mobile gaming, handheld devices, and we said, well, if we can develop on mobile phones, we can develop on anything. So we started doing the platforms in the different products and making them available, and then sending them out to the units, and then they would load them and install them on whatever device the soldiers had. Now, they usually took turns, but they had a way of training without missing out. So it gave them that opportunity to not feel upset because they didn't have a smartphone. Now I ask in some of the rooms who has a smartphone, and almost everybody raises their hand. Except for the ones that have Blackberries that seem to love them. So the one team we have on the mobile side for COTS Gaming, they actually are doing some game creations out of Halo. We have our own lab now, and they have it set up so the soldiers can come in and run through the scenarios. Now, this was developed because we had products like, I don't know if you've ever handed out a book, and if you've ever been in class and you remember this, the teacher hands out a book and she says, I need you to read this. Well, how do you know they really read it? So we have some call handbooks that we were investing a lot of money in. We were sending them out to every soldier in their hand. They put them in their locker. You never see them again. So we wanted to validate that they were reading them, that they understood them, and that they were retaining the knowledge. So we actually created a mapping game in Halo, because they have the capabilities for that. And we created it with all the pieces that were in this one call handbook. So if you didn't read it, you didn't know what you were looking for and find it and accomplish the mission. We found out a lot by that, because a lot of people didn't read it, but they sure read it after they failed the first attempt on this. And they really liked it because it was a game. So they wanted to go and read it and then find the things in the book and start applying it in the game. So it became something that all of a sudden the upper command started looking at it like, hey, they're interested, they like this. They're actually going and doing what we tell them to do. So now, of course, the CG tour includes all of our labs, because they are all our kids at heart. So we have developed quite a few products in here. What we do is we hook it up and make it live, and we announce the date and time. So the folks that are playing it in the lab can open it up to the live accounts for the soldiers. And I believe there's 2 bottle lids that are orange that actually have free live accounts now. So soldiers, we started collecting them, and we send them out for the soldiers so they don't have to pay for accounts. So we kind of incorporate that, and they get to do a little training, learn a little bit more about the product that they were supposed to read and didn't know, and they're having fun while they're doing it. So they want more now. They're thirsty for more. So now They're in the lab all the time. Every time I call my boss, I say, "Where are you?" "I'm in the lab." "Oh yeah, playing Xbox." Okay, SCOE Arena is our newest one. This is just EOD. It's like a garage, and they actually have all this set up. And as you can see, the iPad, the screens, we have 3D renders. It's not just in the classroom anymore. Everything's moving out. There's no more brick and mortar. We move away from that, and we get into the area where you're not gonna learn sitting in a desk in front of a screen with the instructor giving you a lecture for 2 hours on something that you can go and actually see physically. You get the run through with the 3D. You have iPad control. You can walk around freely. You're actually showing the equipment while you're doing it. A lot of times we have this kind of training because they don't have the latest equipment. So they're showing them something that may not be the latest version. So they're using the training to enhance, saying, okay, this area is the new product, and it's similar to this, but here's the piece, and it gives it, because a lot of times you can't get a hold of the equipment, which is sad. Outside the box is more like anything future, anything coming down the path. Our big thing right now is 3D Unity and Max development, because a lot of the products we need to see the whole piece, especially if it's an ordinance for the EOD techs. We want to be able to see the whole device. SCOE Arena is also working with Virginia Tech, and we have a partnership with them, working with some interns to do the 3D modeling, and we're doing virtual cave creation for ordnance devices. So if you've ever been to Virginia Tech, you will love the tour. They have a virtual cave where you can go in and you can stick your head in the cave and see the inside of an ant, that kind of thing, the inner workings. And that's what we want to do with the devices. We want to have the soldiers see what's inside, what makes it tick. That's kind of dangerous, but what makes it tick. We have some samplings. There's a lot of products that we don't have on there. I've done a lot recently. It's fast and furious right now. We actually were developing, and I was telling somebody a minute ago, we were developing just on the native iOS and Android coding. We do still do some of that coding, but we have gone to HTML5, and it makes it so much faster. I can knock out a prototype in a day. I throw it onto the Dreamweaver and knock out the rest of it as they tell me what enhancements, what changes, and what improvements they want. And we call it sexy in and up, because when you first make it, it's a prototype. It's just the bare bones, and then you find out exactly the look and feel that the customer wants. So we have started out with these, and we've moved on. We have a lot of focus from the Pentagon. They are one of our big customers. And back then we were doing them for free because we had everything in place. We were sustainable. We had all of our equipment. We had all the software. We had our license and everything. And then just recently, command came down and said, well, with all the budget cuts, I believe we need to start charging. So we do a minimal fee, and that helps us. And it affords me the opportunity to come to things like this, where everybody else has cut on funding, which is a really nice bonus because I get to show it all. So the best practices, we set up workflows. The first thing we did when we started our team is we said, okay, what's going to keep us on the cutting edge? What's going to keep us ahead? And what's going to keep us from getting in trouble? Because you can beg forgiveness just so many times. So we decided we'd get with the G6, and they helped us by telling us the different areas that we needed to focus on. So we went and wrote up the workflows, and this is the brilliance of my boss, and you'll see his young picture in a little bit. I think it was up front. But we have 1750s where we brought them in. They are instructional designers that came through the intern program, and they're big on that with the Army, is these intern programs where they train a certain series. Well, the 1750s are really good at front end, the middle, and the back end. of a product. To make sure when it's coming in, if it's a product that we can turn into that. And halfway through, validate that it is a good training product, and at the very end, if it's a sound product and it's better than it came to us when we got the content. So my boss is one of the 1750, so he definitely has a handle on it. I'm the QA. I am very good about catching things. I glance, I see it. And of course, the other programmers hate me because I do catch their mistakes. We have the subject matter experts that give us the content. We don't claim to be. We're just the geeks that want to do all this with it. They are the experts. You know, any of the units and any of the MOS for the Army, if they have a product and they know their stuff, they're instructors, they're developers, they're the ones that are in charge of it. It has to be approved, validated training products before we can take them and create anything out of them. So we actually work closely with them and get their feedback as we're progressing. So the app working group, this is a different element. When we have a lot of, I'd say, a lot of areas where it's sensitive material. So if it's training that we cannot make public, we have to internally install it on devices. An example is we have the EOD techs. We have created multiple products for them. I have 250 iPads that I load all their products on, and I do it weekly. But I have a really nice stacking 3-unit product that actually loads most of it for me, so it's pretty quick. But if you make your own and it's in-house development, it doesn't load through the product that Apple has out. So I have to do them by hand. But it is what it is. But when we load those, they can only be internal. I'm the security officer for all the mobile, so we have to have everything locked down and secure. Now, the products that can be forward-facing can go out to the marketplace. We vet them through our validation team and PAO and the JAG group, and they all make sure that all the content is something that may be searchable on Google. So if it's searchable on Google, then it must be okay, but they have to make sure that, you know, there's no phone numbers in there, names, that kind of thing. So they validate everything and they make sure that it can be put out on the public forum, and then I publish it out. Oh, I probably should tell you, I am the iOS and the HTML5 developer, and I have another gentleman on my team that is the Android developer, and he does HTML5 too. So the two of us do all the apps. We have one gentleman that does COTS gaming, off-the-shelf gaming, and the other two are the simulation and gaming folks that do the VBS too. We have a lot of hats we wear for a small team. Okay, best practice idea. This is a brainstorm of my bosses. He's really good about this. We all have been doing this since 2009, and what this has afforded us is a lot of knowledge. We've retained a lot of information. We've learned a lot. We've self-taught ourselves on a lot of areas, and what he wants to do and what he's been doing is sets up classes. So we have online classes. So if somebody wanted to learn HTML, HTML5, they wanted to learn how to code Java, or, you know, we all have specialty backgrounds in certain things from what we've been doing. So we teach like introductory classes, basics, and we do it for free. And you get, and we enlist some of the college kids too that want something on their resume where they've contributed and volunteered, and we give them certificates when they do that as an instructor for the course. So if you have somebody that's just coming out of or even in their second, third year, and they have taken a class on some introduction to whatever coding, and you wanted to utilize them, and they get credit for it, because by the time they're graduated, that stuff, you're moving on to something else. It's something else, and you haven't used your tool, and the knowledge leaves your head. So we're grabbing them when they want to help us for free, because this is all free, and we offer it up, and we make the links, URL links, available to anybody that wants to to learn something new. I mean, continuing education, that's what we're all about. But this was my boss's brainstorm, and we found a couple of sites right after we came up with this. We found a couple of sites that came up that were offering free training. And I looked at him and I said, "You didn't steal that, did you?" He goes, "I think they stole it from me." So I don't know which one was first, the chicken or the egg. We are working with Jason Haig for a mobile conference, and this was ours was in 2010. Our first one, and we haven't been able to get funding since, so now we're going to have to do it all online. So we know virtual. When is that date?
July 16th through the 18th, 3 days.
July 16th through the 18th. Log in and learn all the goodness, because I have a feeling we have a big venue, don't we? I already know some people. So. It's all 100% online, so that's great. Okay, so our contact information, that's my boss, Matt McLaughlin, very young guy. He's actually in his 30s, and I am the oldest one in our team, but he keeps calling us a young workforce, and I don't know why. And he says, because you get excited when you learn. He said, you're probably the most geekiest of all of us. And I am, I admit it. I like it. What I like about working with this team and working with the Army, they really haven't stifled anything we're doing, and that really is good. I will tell you, when you first start out with something like this, and when you want to start a team, I mean, we call ourselves a PM shop now, and we are now officially TRADOC's only PM shop with the Army that is successful. And we now have got a task board that anything mobile with the Army has to be vetted through us. So we're so happy that we have more work. We've kind of afforded a lot of that. I like it because when I started in this department, I knew we were going to start growing fast, and I knew it was going to become a great thing, because the team that fell together in this department happen to be people in specific backgrounds that you would never have thought to put together. And when we started finding our niche was our background, everything fell into place. And this team has been together and tight ever since, because all of us have our specialties from where we came from and what we did prior, which makes it really good. And the fact that all of us, we don't sleep, of course, but all of us are hungry and thirsty to learn more, and we're all learning every day. We take on projects just because we might not have been down that road, and it's something new that we can create and learn, and it just adds to that database of knowledge that we're building. So we never turn anything down. Now, that's a bad thing at times, and it gets a little overwhelming, but we work on the workflows. When you set up the workflows and you have certain days and certain deadlines and certain goals, you can fit things in and work things in between. The hardest part when you're starting out with this is going through and training yourself to do things that you don't have time to go and do official training on. So you're almost throwing yourself into a product and learning as you're building. And if you're not good at that, or if you don't think you want to get in there and roll your sleeves up and do all that hard work, this is not for you. It's not for you. I will give you a secret product, okay? If you want to do, I have a bunch of them, but if you want to do prototype apps for free right now, it'll take you probably no more than an hour to build a 30-page app. Codiqa, CODIQA.com. Easiest way to do, and you know why I tell you this is because you'll get customers, and I don't know if any of you work with mobile apps, but you'll get customers that go, I don't know what I want, but I want a mobile app for this. So it's on you to be creative. Well, you can, but why not have a little help? And this Codiqa, it's all widget based, it's not coding, you drop and drag it on. And when you're creating it, you've only invested an hour into a product that somebody is going to go back and say, yeah, like, this is kind of the way I wanted to go, but I wanted to do this. And actually, while you're talking to them, you can be changing it and doing it as they want the flow. And then they get that, it comes out of their head. This is what I was looking for, you know. This is what I was hoping to get. and it saves you a lot of time and a lot of effort. But any questions? Oh, did I tell y'all that we work strictly offline? No product of ours touches the dot mill. We've been working since '09 offline on Mac equipment, and nobody has ever stopped us. We kind of opened those doors too. We were very surprised that they allowed us to do that and continue to allow us to do that. Because our biggest thing right now is anything with the word Apple in it, you cannot purchase it. You have to go through, and they have a lot of red tape you have to go through. Because we had a problem, we're now in charge of who buys iPads. You can't just go and buy one for your CG anymore. You have to be approved. It goes up to the Secretary of the Army. So, I'm sorry?
Doesn't he have better things to do?
Well, I'm sure, but I think at one time it was a question not just of it running amok on the purchase. It was more security, because I think things were being purchased and then things were being loaded on them without any really guidance. And everything that we do, I'm the security officer, so everything has to run by me. And if anybody wants anything loaded on them other than the products that we create, we say no. Right now, the Army is not ready to open things up like that. They want to keep a close handle on it, and I don't blame them. I mean, I wouldn't want this shut down because somebody has gone crazy with it, but they definitely are keeping a handle on it, which I think is a great idea. I mean, because I really want to keep moving forward, and I'm very, very surprised. The Army, I don't know if y'all know this, but we're so behind in everything but technology. We are in our area right now. We're probably ahead of Air Force, everybody. I mean, it's just phenomenal how we've gotten up and above and moved forward when we can't even get the latest software on our computers. Chronicle Master. They're a little behind the times, but. I've enjoyed being here today, and I'm looking forward to next year. I'm hoping we'll have a turnaround.